Okay, you guys, stick with me because this one's gonna ruffle some feathers. I'm gonna give you guys my honest opinion on the Throne of Glass series. I want to preface this by saying that I'm fairly new to fantasy. I've only read a couple of series, so take this with a grain of salt. I'm gonna start this by saying that I did not love Throne of Glass as much as everybody else. That being said, I think it's a brilliantly written series, truly. There's just so much depth to it. I mean, look how many books there are. And while it's a commitment that I think that many people should get into, I just felt like it was too much world building for me. So these are the first 3 books of the series, and I truly think that these first 3 books are all world building. So I think that if I were to read it again and kind of have an idea of what the series was about and where it was going, I think I would maybe enjoy it a lot more than I did. To stick around for 3 whole pretty big books to not know where we're going or why things are important, I think that's a little bit difficult when you're first getting into fantasy. And then we get to kind of like the middle of the series where things start really adding up. You're getting into it. There are some real wow moments. There were some moments that had me laugh, cry, had my jaw on the floor, all of that. I will say that. But this is hefty for a middle of the series kind of take. Like at least with ACOTAR, you get that little Christmas special that's kind of like a palate cleanser. This goes straight into depth. There's still a lot more that you need to be paying attention to in these 2 books in order to kind of follow with the rest of the series. It's not boring, I'll say that, but there's just so much going on that it's almost overwhelming. That's kind of how I felt. And then you get into these 2, and a lot of people do these in a tandem read. I did it in a tandem read, and it was a lot to just go back and forth chapter to chapter. It did make sense, and I do not regret doing the tandem read at all, but take that as you will. If you're the type of reader that just wants to go start to finish, then you can also do them separately. It doesn't really make too much of a difference, but I did like the tandem read. And then the last book, Tears Will Be Shed. It's a big book, but everything in the series that we just read does come to fruition. I will say, even though this wasn't my favorite series, it is absolutely a brilliant, brilliant work of art. And I love her as an author. I think she's absolutely brilliant and creative, and she writes well. That being said, the series as a whole just wasn't my favorite because of the sheer overwhelming nature of it. I much preferred ACOTAR, where I felt like I could really get submersed into the world of the Fae realm. Here, there's just so much going on to kind of appreciate what a masterpiece it truly is. I'm currently working my way through Crescent City, which I'm really loving so far. It's sort of like a modern fantasy, and it's also by Sarah J. Maas, so I will make a series on that once I'm done reviewing. As always, you guys can check out my Goodreads to see what I'm reading in real time. Thanks for sticking along.